let's talk about consent.
Consent and consensual non-consent as well.
Yeah, because even we have a couple of people that were on with us right before we got on today, and they're going to watch the replay.
Yeah.
And so I said we would talk about consent because consent is so important.
No. Consent is the cornerstone of everything we do in this realm. I mean, this exploration, this play is nothing more than two grown-ups doing what they love to do, giving each other what they want to give each other. There's really nothing else going on here, right? A lot of people approach this exploration or this area from a political perspective, and they get all charged up. There is no politics on the inside. There is play, there is get off, there is exploration, there is actually being genuinely curious about who your partner is and wanting different parts of them to come out. There's genuinely being curious about yourself and wanting to see what wants to come out. There isn't any, so it's just two people playing. Two people playing in consent, two people only giving each other what they want. There isn't really any room for non-consent. If you are doing non-consent, you're not doing what we practice and teach. Right? So it's like, it is absolutely the foundation. And it's like, it's pretty much the very structure of what we do is consenting people, giving each other what they want and get off on. Like there isn't like any moving from non-consent to consent. Consent is all that is when you're doing this thing.
Yes.
Things only go wrong when you feel yourself falling out of consent and you don't speak up. Right? Most of the times when things go off, it's a consent miscommunication. It's a consent accident. It's a consent, I didn't hear you right. I didn't understand you right. Or you should have spoken up in that moment, but you didn't, right? No, and if someone is actively trying to violate your consent, you need to leave the room and leave the person, obviously.
Right, yeah.
So the work we do, it's not actually about going from non-consent to consent. Consent is the foundation on which you do all this stuff. And we build the communication and staying awake, making sure you're not zoning out so that you can stay in consent every moment, so that if something is happening that you don't want to happen, you speak up, and by that doing that, you stay in consent, compared to going out of consent in your head, not saying anything and having things continue, which happens with people who tend to freeze, or people who are simply unclear on how this thing works, or people who think that if they express their limitations or boundaries, someone's going to disapprove of them, so they better not. So those are all the glitches in consent, but the foundation is consent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's play. Ultimately, it's play. There's a reason we call it a scene. A scene is made up. BDSM is made up. It's invented. It's theater. It's no more real than a scene on a stage. And it has that dual quality. A good scene will pull you in because it feels real. And some part of your brain knows I'm watching two people acting on a stage under lights. That's what BDSM is. Everything is made up. And it feels real because it is real, because it's masterful at being real. It knows how to pull your attention and to give you a real human ride. Just as great theater, when it's done well, will pull all your feelings and emotions and histories, and you will see yourself up there, right? To the point where it's excruciating to watch.
I can't believe I'm doing this. Yeah.